The other alternate that we have has been made a full task force member, so that's Bhaskar Padma.
But, you know, again, I question Paskar if he's still interested in doing this himself, because we haven't seen him in a long time.
I'll reach out to him tomorrow in case he's unaware. I'd gotten an email from the mayor over the weekend about it. So
You should have gotten a letter, right? Presumably.
they do draft a letter and send one out that may have been prepped today, but I haven't seen it yet. Usually they CC me on it when it's ready. But either way, I'll reach out to him and just let him know.
And you said there was another appointment to there's someone else interested in joining too?
Maybe. There was a high school student last year who expressed an interest to our previous chair about the possibility of joining. I'm not sure if she's still interested, but we could see if we can reach out to that person and see. And then anyone else who may be interested, you can reach out to one of the committee chairs and we'll see if
When you say committee chairs, who are you talking about?
the Republican and the Democratic committee
okay.
chairs in town.
Okay.
And then they forward possible candidates to the town council for review.
Okay.
Okay. So, I think we went over the fourth one. So, I don't see anyone here in the public. When they show up, we can again bring that topic back to them. So from actions, minutes for approval. So we have two minutes for approval. One is from July and one is from August. So do we have an approval?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Yeah. I see a second.
I'll second.
Okay. So we are good there. Okay, report from Taskforce Chair. So progress towards the certification. I know we are looking towards submitting for the month of April, right? That is the next milestone.
Yeah, we have a lot of material to upload into the Sustainable CT Task Force website. For different actions, we need to show proof of what was done. So we have various photos and some written descriptions. There's some more that needs to be done, and then those materials have to be uploaded for review. I had contacted them because I knew I wasn't going to make the deadline last summer, and said, well, should I submit for review as quick as possible as soon as it's in, even if it's in between sessions? And they said it's better to wait till we get closer to.
Well, I thought we were still.
We can still upload.
Yeah, I thought
So
we'd still want to get them done.
Yes, so I'm going to put all the material up, but I'm not going to have them review it yet. I will wait until it gets closer, like, you know, when we're like 2 months out from the deadline. I'll let them know it's available for them to review that.
Well, I
So
think we should do it a little quicker than that.
that's what Sustainable CT asked me to do.
2 months.
Is that Summer Girl, is she gonna help you too, or?
So, yeah, I hadn't gotten to that yet, but we have a new fellow this year. I was working with a different fellow last year.
Okay.
So, she had contacted me, I think Thursday or Friday last week, and yeah, Jack was CC'd on that. So yeah, I said I've got dates available in December if you want to have a quick meeting, do a Zoom meeting, and just go through a few things, and I can fill her in on where we're at. And then if there's any information that we would like to get to bring to the task force, then I can give her a list of those things too, and she might be able to help point us in the right direction.
Now, just to be clear, we're talking about Derek's list, basically, from 2023, right?
Yes,
Stuff we're
2023
getting-
and 2024. Yep, there's
Okay.
data from both of those years that can get uploaded into the Sustainable CT website.
Okay, so you're gonna work on this
Yes.
month then, or I mean, the rest?
December, I can
December.
work on it, yeah. Yeah, I've got some sidewalk projects that I've been directed to work on in the meantime, so I'm trying to get as much of that done before December 1st.
And is there any way we can help you with the documentation?
Yeah, if you like, I can get you a list of some things that might be able to spread out some of the work.
Yes.
'Cause there's written descriptions that still need to be done for certain things. So I have photographs, I have advertisements and things for certain events, but I don't necessarily have write-ups on all of them. So I can go through and I can find a few,
Sure.
and I can make a list of what needs to be done and see if there's anything anyone would like to contribute. They'd be very similar to the thing that Alan Baglia, our former member, just sent to me today, where it's a small description with some supporting documentation, like some of the stuff that you forwarded from some of the events you've been to recently.
Okay.
So a quick written blurb to go with
Yeah,
photographs.
let
and
us,
things like that. Yeah.
very thorough, I know.
And we can help, and there are also interest from community members too who can help out with the documentation. So
Yeah, great. You can forward it back to me, and then I can just upload it.
yeah, that
As-
would be good.
Basically, what I've been trying to do is dedicate a little time once a week, where it's just on my schedule where I can work on that. But I got moved on to some other things temporarily, just when I was getting
Yeah,
started.
if you
on
need
it.
any help doing that too,
Yeah.
help putting the stuff in,
Yeah.
we can help with that.
Yeah, it's not that hard to upload. It's just a matter of getting the
Just getting to
documentation.
do it, I know, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Yeah,
like
I
you
try to
said-
do a lot of things for the task force in my personal time.
Well, you shouldn't have
yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, I know, but I have a lot of
You know,
demands
if you want to
placed
give me a
on
call
me, so-
sometime, I could even come in and, sit
Yeah.
next to you at your desk and.
Well, I'll put a few things together and I'll pass that on to you guys and see how you think might best you might want to help.
Yes.
Whatever
We
time.
are ready to help. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys already do a lot already, so it's always hard to ask for help.
That's fine.
But yeah,
we don't
thanks.
want to
Yeah,
miss the April submission.
correct.
So
And I think point-wise, I think we are in good shape. It's close, but I think we're over the necessary minimum, the 500 points that we need for silver. But one of the things that I have to go back and look at is that it has a 3-year look-back period when you do apply.
okay.
So you've got to look back at some of the earliest
Yeah,
things
yeah.
to make sure that they're still
yeah.
accepted at that point. Otherwise, we may have to, write up some new materials or come up with some new activities, just to make sure that we can retain those.
That would be great. Thank you. So the events, yeah. So the next one are the events. I think we completed the native plant swap, and Jack already shared all the photographs. We can create the blurb for that. Jason, let us know.
Sure.
That. And pumpkin smash is also is finished, so we can create the some write up on that one too.
And was there a compost turning event as part of that too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
okay.
tried meeting the 2 days before it, but nobody showed up for that, so I guess it was canceled. I wasn't so I actually went to it,
Oh, no.
and nobody showed up, so I went over and I talked to Pat, who's the representative from town that works with the injured, garden. And she said, yeah, nobody, I guess it just
Didn't have
wasn't
enough
gonna take
volunteers,
place, so
yeah.
she said we could do it on the pumpkin swap. And actually, that worked, well, want me to go into it a
No,
little bit?
please.
Yeah, it worked out really well. It was basically, Alan's coordinating there together, and there was other people there helping, and, Blue Earth was there, and Yukon was there also, fanning out information, but we did the turning of the garden. It was like 3 or 4 of us there. It was almost fun, I didn't do most, we had a couple of young guys there, so they did most of the turning. And then that was it. It worked out pretty good. Yeah, it was a cold,
A little chilly that day though, wasn't it?
yeah, it actually was nice.
Yeah, it was-
Fall day, and the sun
That
was
was
out,
nice.
and it was cool. These guys weren't sweating.
Yeah, that's good, right? Yeah, if you're turning compost and smashing pumpkins, it's not too hot.
Yeah, and the kids are out there smashing. They're trying to smash them because they're hard to smash with a rubber mallet.
Yeah, I know.
We had to get the real hammer out a few times. But the families seemed to like it, so.
Oh, good.
Okay. So subcommittee reports, the next one. Encourage an equitable and just food system. I don't think we have assigned the subcommittee members for this.
I might be able to give a little bit of information. I don't
Yes.
have a lot to report yet, but
Okay.
we've done some work at the community farm since the last time we've met. We've poured a concrete pad and walkway. The pad is for
So
ADAs.
we're talking about the community farm now?
Yep,
Okay.
yes.
This is the one you students are working on? get the
Yes,
farm
yeah,
going?
yes. So, yeah, we had hired a contractor to pour a concrete pad and
Oh,
walkway
okay.
to the barn that was placed earlier this year. The barn is locked up and closed at this point. It will be used at some point in the future, hopefully as an education site. And then they also want to have a community agriculture activity at this site, and that's what the UConn students are looking at. They've been to the site visiting, and they're coming up with a couple of proposals on how we could have some sort of community farming there. There is a portion of that site that is for commercial farming that's still in use, so this won't take that portion of the land. It's the area that's been cleared and regraded. We've removed hazardous materials that were on site, and there's still some testing going on, follow-up testing to make sure everything's okay. That's normal operation after a procedure like that. So there's test wells on site where we have a contractor come and draw samples and make sure everything's okay.
The community farm in Cromwell was really nice. I don't know if this.
I haven't been, but I think some people from town have been over there.
Yeah, I've been there. I got
Yeah.
some pictures of it. It's like, when the season was going.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
I've been
You
to
know,
a couple similar
one in
ones.
Weathersfield's kind of nice too. It doesn't quite meet up to when that was in Cromwell, as far as I can tell. But it was pretty nice. It was full. That's what, if that's what our idea is, I think it should work pretty good.
I think there's a meeting tomorrow,
Okay.
tomorrow evening at this time, where we might be, the town will probably get an update at that board.
Oh,
As
yeah,
to
I think,
progress is going. I don't know if
think
they've
they're-
completed their designs yet. They might still be,
Yeah,
it might be a
okay.
semester-long project, and it may
Yeah.
not be at that point.
Okay.
Other similar types of projects I've seen done through UConn, they'll have a presentation to the group. So, people that have assisted and clients like ours would tune in and see what the students present, and then I think, they get graded as part of their final project. So I don't know if they've actually had that presentation yet, so I don't know if they've presented any of that material to the community yet. That I'll be watching that meeting tomorrow to see what's going on.
I have the contact, if it would be interesting to have him here. I imagine he's talked to people in the town. The professor who's leading that whole thing, Andrew, I don't know, Chris Duff sent me his contact, but Andrew Low, it's L-O-U-W, I don't know. I could reach out to him if you'd want him to come talk to us or something.
Maybe. I don't know if that works out or not, and we could do that. And see if there's time at the December meeting.
The farm and land committee, they had someone came, I tried to listen to that, and I think that there was someone from UConn there he gave us, I don't know if that was him. Robert, do you know if that was him? Were you able to listen to that meeting?
That was last month's meeting.
I think it was the land and, what do they call it, the land and?
Land and farmland preservation.
Yeah, farmland.
That's the group who's meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, because I listened to the one before, and it was like someone from UConn did have a present. It was almost, you couldn't make it out what they're talking about, but they're put it online.
Was that one of our town committees that met and?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was
Yeah.
trying to look it up, but okay.
How can we get involved with that, Jason? Do you have any ideas?
I think, just off the top of my head, I think when it gets closer to moving from a concept to actually being constructed, I think we're going to have to do a lot of outreach to the community to let them know that, there might be farming plots available to them if they want to do
Yeah.
something like that.
But that's like
And then even
next
some of the
year.
educational aspects as well that they would like to engage in, might be good to reach out to the community about that, because there might be young kids that can get involved. There might be educational programs for the people that want to work those small plots, teaching about different techniques and things like that. So I think that's where, your network of volunteers and interested people could really reach out. We could do pamphlets, we could do things, organize an event, and maybe we get involved even with signups. I don't know.
Jason, I noticed in the community farm, you can actually drive in there now. There's no impediments to stop you from going in.
That's
So
because
is
we've
that-
been placing material there recently, so.
So there's
there-
stuff, you can
there's-
just drive in and take a look at it if you want. Is that open to the public now? There's
I-
nothing to stop you from going in.
Yeah, we had some barricades up for a while, with some of the grading and stuff that's been done now. Seating is, the seat hasn't established itself fully yet. Might be not necessarily the best time to go walking around over there, because the soil's soft and the grass hasn't fully established itself, so the footprints that you leave in the dirt will probably be there
I'm
forever.
just talking about the dirt,
Yeah.
not the dirt, just the.
Like the
parking
gravel
area.
drive-in
The
area, the
gravel
parking and
drive-in
stuff,
area,
yeah.
That seems to be
Yep.
open, but it's not, I don't know if it is open.
I don't know if it's open to the public or not yet.
There's
I'm not
nothing
sure.
to stop someone from going in.
Right, like I said, we had barricades up there previously.
There was some, the cross,
Yeah.
wooden,
Yeah, I mean, if
barriers.
those are in place,
But
I
they're
would,
not
I would say
there
we're
anymore,
trying
I
to keep
don't
people
think.
out of there for now.
If they want
Like
to
the
go in.
barn's closed up, people can't go inside and walk around the barn right now, it's locked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, there may come some sort of event that they have there in the future, when when it's fully open to the public for viewing, and maybe Lisa Murata has some sort of a planned event in the future. I have no idea. I'm sorry that I don't know, I should know.
It is also, I looked up, it is the same guy, the same professor that spoke at the committee, the farmland preservation.
It was the same guy? Yeah, okay.
Is there a plan, I mean, we can, right, from sustainable, can we, when they are planning, is there a plan to actually have like some compost, like whatever we have in the food pantry?
Yeah.
Is there a plan for them to?
I'm
create
hoping
a-
that would be included as part of the alternatives that are presented from the students, because I think we should have something like
Right.
that there. I think that would be a huge help to the gardeners,
Right.
people that are actually working those plots, so hopefully.
So if we want that to be added into the plan, is it something that, how do we share that with them?
We could send that information over to the farmland preservation group and say that, that. And if it was something that they were interested in doing, we might even be able to organize some sort of a building event maybe, where if the town could provide materials, maybe we could do the labor and build frames and things like that. Who knows? There's a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah.
So whatever we can do to get it going.
For sustainable farming, right? That is the goal of.
Yeah, I'll get my hammer and come on out.
And I just realized, we don't need to do it now, but I guess once we get through these reports, should we go back to public comment just to,
Do you see something?
just Alan Bagley, right, sending that email about his application for, or would you have had to send it to the town? The creative culture application, the arts and creative culture application.
The one that he sent today?
Yeah.
Oh, that was information about an event that's already occurred that we can get
Oh,
credit for.
Cool, okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, nice, good.
Okay.
Sorry, I just thought,
Sorry about that.
No, no.
So, is for this one, right, before we move on to the next one, can we form a subcommittee? Is anyone interested to take, like a lead on this one? I know we are only 3 people here.
Yeah, no, I am, sorry, no, yeah, I would be happy to do so. No, and I guess it's not on the agenda, oh jeez, I'm forgetting.
We're talking about the community farm, right?
Yeah,
Community
the
farm.
farm.
Yeah, I can help with that too, if there's some way we can
Okay.
help.
So Jack and Robert, okay. So going on to the next one, strategic materials management, report materials management data and reduce waste. So,
I think I sent you I don't even know what this is. Is this something you were handling?
Someone asked me to
Jason?
add this action to the agenda.
This has
That might
always
have come,
been here.
right, that might have come from Mike Devaney, actually, because I know he had an interest in recycling. I think you did as well, some of our earlier meetings.
I think we moved that down to discussion of new business, composting and recycling. Is that, because I think I asked one time, isn't it? Because that's why we put it on discussion of new business, composting, recycling. So is this actually, number 9C? Is this actually BI then?
So you're asking the question of whether when we get to item 9C, whether
Yeah.
that will involve discussion about action 9?
Is this the same? Or is
Uh,
this something completely different?
Strategic materials management, I think, includes recycling as well as some other ways to reduce waste, so it might be a little bit broader of a discussion. We could hold off on action 9 for now and see if that's something that might be better for the December meeting.
No, I mean, we still want to discuss it under new business, but I'm just, I just don't know what that is. They're talking about recycle additional materials. I just don't know.
If it helps,
I mean,
I
I know
was-
it carries through every month, through the year, just that we're not doing anything on it every
So-
time.
So one of the things that I've noticed about recycling is that depending on the quality of the material that comes in and the type of material that comes in, it can either be recycled or not. If that material is dirty or contaminated, or if it is a complex thing that is thrown away that involves multiple parts that are each recyclable but are not separated, then they may not necessarily themselves be recycled. So there is a certain percentage of waste that we
Yeah,
hope gets recycled,
yeah,
but it
I
doesn't
realize that.
necessarily.
I'm
Perhaps it's trying to.
I'm just
to cut
questioning
in on
why
that.
it's here.
I-
I mean, I
Can't
tried
answer
to
that
talk
question.
about it last time, but
Yeah.
that's why we moved it to 9C.
So one of the
I
things
mean, if
that
you want to leave it there forever, that's fine.
one thing that I remember was Michael was actually doing the bottle drive for one of the band. That's what I remember.
Yep.
So is there like an awareness that we can bring to the community as part of what can be recycled versus what cannot? Is that something you see that we taking that on?
So, in just candid conversations with our highway superintendent, our public works manager who handles all field operations, including the management of trash.
I actually talked to Joe. I have a couple of things on that.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was waiting to 9C. I was gonna,
Oh, 9C.
because I thought that's where we're going. If you want to leave it there, just
Let's
that
wait
we're.
till 9, let's wait till 9C then.
Okay. All right, so you want to leave those two B, action strategic materials then? You want to leave that there?
We will leave it for now, and we'll go to the next item on the list. The next one is implement community energy campaign. So report materials management, data and reduce waste. Do you have an update or something to share for this one?
No, I mean, when we were here in August, I think we were going to ask Scott the last time we had a meeting, but Scott wasn't able to make it, so I don't know, do you have anything to add to C?
A community energy campaign. Yeah, I know that there's been a couple of goals this year set by the town council that our plant and facilities department, our building maintenance department has been handling. So they've been doing some upgrades to some of our boilers and a few other pieces of equipment. I think they're interested in municipal lighting as well, trying to reduce energy usage. So I know those things would probably fall under that
Now,
that.
would that be
envelope.
something you would just automatically add on?
I'm sorry, Anna. What do you mean?
Well, for sustainability, is that something you're handling? It's not really what we're doing, it's something you're doing.
That's something that the town is already working on.
Okay.
That kind of fits under this
Okay,
umbrella.
so we're leaving stuff here on our list that we're really not working on, but you're basically working on it, so it's okay to leave it.
I guess with like the energy campaign, right, we had the forum, and you might have already been working on trying to increase energy efficiency, reduce energy expenditure in town. Right, but out of that, we got that portfolio of all this, from, People's Action for Clean Energy. Yeah. So, I guess that's like the advisory capacity of our role. Because like they might already be doing these things or setting goals, right, but we're trying to just inform that process. So we have been, I guess, hands off in a sense, but we could still do something with community energy campaign, right? because we have that. We've also talked about weatherization, the heat pumps, talking about our solar farm. So there are still ways we can tap in.
Is that something that might serve best as a presentation to the town council about what PACE has done in preparation to help the town already, and what they may already be working on in other communities that we could take advantage of here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that the town council hoped Haritha would be able to come and give an update at some point, so that might be one of the things the task force may want to recommend to them.
No, I don't want to misspeak, but obviously, right, they've done assessments of other towns, and I think towns like Manchester has implemented, at least some part of whatever assessment they got. So I know the town has it, but I don't know if they've had time to review it, or if we might want to highlight certain parts of, because I know it's quite big. So, yeah, that's certainly something we could,
Yeah, I think that would be a great way that we might be able to make some headway in that area, is to be able to have the town go through that information and see if there's anything that they haven't focused on yet that they may want to be able to, and then try to work that into their long-term planning if that's what the council would like to do.
Yeah, well, because that's why the PACE people are good, right? Because they're at least, I think Mark is the one who came to talk. But I believe he works with he's a former retired, they're all actuaries. So I'm pretty sure they threw in like a cost-benefit analysis, right? So if we want to hit it from that angle, right? Yeah, so absolutely.
And I remember in your presentation to us previously, you also mentioned that they had programs that they could potentially be offering businesses in town, as well as possibly even residents. I think there were some programs that they had suggested as possibilities. So that might be ways that even individual homeowners might be able to participate in and take advantage of, potentially.
Moving on to the next one, action 9.3, recycle additional materials. Oh, this is what you were talking about. Came here, yeah.
I think we had a subcommittee report.
Subcommittee report,
Yeah.
Jack, you have something to.
What are we talking about?
The 9.3, recycle additional materials.
What happened to the other? Are we going down the list?
I think that those were just duplicates,
It was a
Yeah,
duplicate.
but
We had
sorry about that. But what about item 7D?
So, 7C, so we're gonna leave 7C
We were just talking about.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
talking about 7C, yeah.
in D? Do we talk about that?
No, we didn't go to D yet. We are still in the C. And I thought you had something to share on the recycle additional materials, Jack?
I was waiting until 9C.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you
Those
go
were
to the-
those
oh,
were
they were
accidentally copied over from 7B.
Okay.
So I apologize for that. That was a
Okay.
typographic error. But yeah, he was going to wait until we got
Okay,
to
so
new business.
we will, next time we will
I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So moving on to the D, inclusion equitable committee impacts, update on the equity statement. I have an update on this one. I think in the last town council meeting, this was approved by the town council is what I heard. So yay!
That's great.
We can get points for that one too. So this is the update I received from our inclusion committee, the innovation and inclusion committee. So now moving on to the next one, discussion of old business. Are there any nature conservancy training on municipal leaders and assets?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a training session for mostly some town staff. The Nature Conservancy led the discussion with the help of DEEP and Sustainable CT. And we broke up into two groups with subject matter experts from different divisions, public works, engineering, planning, police, fire, ambulance, as well as our veterans hospital here in town. And we talked about what sorts of things we think matter most for Rocky Hill to focus on to be as resilient as possible when dealing with different sorts of calamities, whether that be auto accidents, fires, flooding, intense heat, intense cold, trying to find ways to codify some of these ideas and ways that things that we have had success with and things that we could potentially be focusing on to improve, and then taking that information and incorporating it into our upcoming plan on conservation and development update. So basically it becomes part of the framework for how the town continues to grow over the next decade. The final report had just come out in the last week. I haven't had a chance to read the final report. I read a draft and gave some comments, but basically the goal of that was basically the totality of the report of what our findings were and how our discussions went and some of the things that we agreed on. All of that will get put directly into the plan on conservation and development, so it'll be incorporated into that document, which is great. I think it was a good learning experience, and it was, what was really nice is that with, I think there was like 22 people. People were generally on the same page. Like, they were happy with progress that Rocky Hill has made up till now, and they saw a lot of things that were working really well, but they also saw some things that were noticeable that we could potentially be focusing on as we go ahead to try to make the town, as successful as possible in dealing with those types of events. So it's great for the community to have a community that can respond to those things. So if anybody needs a copy of that, I think it's available to the public now, so I could forward a copy of that. So
Of the Nature Conservancy's assessment, or?
yes, yeah, they were the ones that prepared the report. So yeah.
So is there anything that they are looking for from our task force to help with, or it's just more like information?
No, but what I'm hoping for though is that as that works its way into the plan on conservation and development, and that becomes effective, perhaps there's some elements in there that we can jump in on and might be able to help the town. But that plan on conservation and development has not been redesigned yet. This is just one element of it. And there's a plan implementation committee that meets here in town that tries to make sure that that plan gets implemented, maybe periodically. So I'm not sure if that's something they would want to focus on, or if that would be something that we can help them with, or if there's some things that might be able to strictly stay here. I guess we'll have to talk about that and see how they want to approach it.
And what is this, I guess from December, Kim Ritchie put out a notice to get more input on the plan of conservation and development?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
This document, just purpose of and project description. Town of Rocky Hill is soliciting proposals from creative qualified firms.
Yeah, for the plan on conservation and development update, yes.
But this came out after, I guess, the Conservancy.
Yes. Yeah, so essentially to help us, we had solicited for proposals from consultants who might be able to help us out. I don't know if we're ultimately going to go that route or not. We might just do it in-house. But I think they just wanted to see, what sort of options were out there, and then, what the costs of that might be associated. And I'm not sure if they went for that. I think that might end up being something we do in-house, or part of it we do in-house. I'm not sure.
I'm just trying to find, do you know when the last time the plan was updated?
2015,
That's
I think.
the one I found, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, and that's the one that we're currently operating under.
Cool.
And that's available on the town website. I think if you go into the planning department, you can get access to that there. It's a couple hundred pages.
Cool.
But useful document, and it helped me out when I first came on board, to just see what the town is interested in, what was important to them, so.
Good to know.
Mhm.
Wherever sustainable task force can help out, we can help out on that. Going to the next one, discussion of the new business. I think you already shared the tentative meeting schedule.
Yeah, so we have we're required for public meetings to be able to have a list of meetings that have been approved by each board and commission, posted before the first of the year. So I tried to prepare this list for you folks, looking at availability of our rooms and making sure there weren't any conflicts with any other boards or commissions. And I think this might be a good meeting schedule for this upcoming year. And certainly if additional meetings are needed, special meetings can be created for you as it's required. So if there's specific projects you're working on that you need to meet more often than this, it's available. And if this is too many meetings, we could always shorten it up as well if there's certain times a year that could potentially be in conflict. These dates I know will work, based on availability, working around town holidays and room availability here at Town Hall and at the Community Center for one date. So just ask that you folks be able to vote on this as our official meeting schedule for 2025.
Motion to adopt or something like that?
That'd be great.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a motion to adopt this schedule as our regular schedule for the next year.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
So the next one in the list is sensible sustainable material management discussion. So
I don't know what that is.
so I think this tying back to the NIPS.
The nip recycling,
Yeah.
I think that might be.
Actually, I was gonna talk about that too.
Great.
I
Yes,
guess-
please.
Jump
Yeah.
right in.
So I don't even know if we need to deal with two.
Just going on to item C then.
You're going to the item C.
Yeah, I talked to Joe Lentini. I had a phone call. It was the best I could do. Actually, it was about the NIPS because I liked diverting some of the. We talked about Alan and Derek on one of his sustainability things. He talked about maybe diverting some of the NIP money to plastic recycling bins for the public. And I kind of like that idea. If we could do it, get some of that money. But after I talked to Joe, he said that wouldn't be a good idea because he seems to think he needs that money to actually pick up the NIPS. I guess that's what it's being used for. I guess it's I don't see it around my house, but he seems to think it's a bigger problem around package stores around the houses in the area around that. So
And it ends up in catch basins,
yeah.
streams and things. I've
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
seen them. Yeah, it's a sad thing. I had many years ago. I remember I had found a blocked catch basin in a different community that I lived in, and the entire basin, which was this one was a cylindrical style, so it was like 6-7
Yeah.
feet deep,
Okay.
4 foot in diameter, and it was completely full of bottles.
Oh,
So it's probably somebody out on a walk every day. Maybe they took their dog for a walk and they would
Okay.
throw the same bottle in every day, and it just built up because it was blocked.
is that something you deal
This
with
is-
on a normal basis?
So we have a catch basin cleaning routine in town.
Okay.
We hire a company to come in and they basically handle a third of the town each year.
Okay.
So they have equipment that we don't have. So they'll open up the basins and they
Okay.
vacuum out all of the material in there. And most of it's usually sediment, sand and
Okay,
things that wash
yeah.
into the basin over the course of the year. But
Would
sometimes
that
there's
be where
trash and things like that.
The NIP money would be going then?
So that might be,
Might
that
be,
could be what
okay.
Joe was referring to.
Okay.
And it could also be actually going out and cleaning up some of this stuff from the roadsides. Because that's
Okay.
the other issue, is people who drive home from work or wherever
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
going and throw bottles
Yeah.
out the window. So I know you can see that in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I see it occasionally. I don't know if you do. But, I go around, it's very occasional. I see a, NIP bottle,
And is this the first year that Connecticut's had the bottle deposit? Or is this the second year now that they've had that? Where that money from the sales is
Oh, I think it's
being
been going on a
given to
few
the community? It's been a few years now?
Yeah, definitely a few few years.
Yeah,
at least,
so I know
maybe even
each community,
longer.
it's based on the sales within the community, so it depends on how many stores you might have
Yeah.
in your borders and how many of those they sell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know a certain portion does come to the community, but I wasn't sure what they were using it for, so that's good to know that it's not. But when you brought up plastic recycling, is it containers that you were looking to have where people could drop off? Is that what you were hoping to do?
No, it was more a backyard type of thing. Like in my house, I have a plastic bin, and it's different sections. You can move the section over and move the compost over to the next one.
Oh, okay.
And I know, I first came to Rocky Hill, 30 years ago. They gave them out free. I was able to get one, and I still have it. I still use it every year. So I think it was a good idea to just hand them out to residents. And
So this was for composting?
yeah, for
Yeah.
composting in your backyard.
Yep.
Personal composting as opposed to bringing it down to, just throwing it in the trash. That's
Sure.
basically what we're trying to avoid, is just throwing it in the trash.
Some communities, and I think in the past, even MDC, I think, may have had a program where they were handing out some of those at one time.
Yeah.
A long time back. But I have definitely seen communities in Connecticut and Massachusetts, where I've worked more of my career, have some sort of a program where the town could sell them to residents at a discounted price.
That would be a good idea.
And there are companies that provide that material to communities.
Who
So-
in town, was that would still go through Joe though, really?
Most likely, or,
Yeah, okay.
there might be another department in town that might be willing to handle the sale of them, whether it be the town manager's office or even my department, community development and planning. But basically, the community would purchase in bulk a large amount
Right.
of them,
Yeah.
store them, but make them available to residents to purchase. So if you were to advertise to the residents that they're available, if you knew there was an interest, you might be
Yeah.
able to order a certain
there's
amount.
a small amount, like
Yeah.
order 20 of them,
Yep.
times 300 each, so.
Right,
that's
and
not gonna-
make them small enough that you can get them home in,
Yeah,
a
you can
typical
throw it in the back
car,
of your
so you
car
don't need a
and-
pickup truck to get it home.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of the ones that I've seen, it's 2 or 3 pieces that you assemble to make the unit, so they, easily fit in the trunk of a car or your hatch.
Yeah, mine just comes in three sections.
Mhm.
You just throw it in the car, like one of your refrigerator. I think it was in a plastic, or a cardboard box when I first got it.
Yeah. I looked at 2 or 3 different companies that do that. I could pass that information on to you folks and see if one of those might be somebody we may want to reach out to and try to get some pricing on, and then we could bring that to the town
Well, I
council
did
and
do a
see what
little
they think.
pricing on, they're 300, about 300 for each one, and we just need the financing from the town and the advertising to say we're going to do it, and we can get it out. I think it's a good project.
They're also, I'm just looking, the Sustainable CT, if you search under their grants portal, they have a sort of a issue area. And I just chose it for the composting. But there's a whole, I don't know, bunch of things one could afford. Right, I mean, the NIPS miniature alcohol bottle fund,
Oh.
and then this is the match fund used before.
At the time that we had used the community match fund last year, food waste version was something that was promoted highly, so they had a higher match rate. Projects devoted to that subject, and this could that. And if they're still doing that into next year, there might be some community matching. We might be able to fundraising might help.
Yeah, the food waste, the other part of it that we're trying to deal with, I talked to Joe about that, about maybe getting a better sign, and he kind of liked that idea for at the transfer station. He was gonna look into that. I don't know how far he's got. I mean, I guess I could check in with him again and see if he's, just have a nice green bin there that, as soon as you go into the transfer station, I do it every week. I bring my food waste there.
I would too if I lived in town. I think that's a great program.
And you just have to, the guys are happy to tell you where it's right there. It's
Yep.
a friendly group down there. You just bring it in and just throw it in, and
during our winter months.
There's 15 pounds from, get that for a few houses, even a few houses, that helps out. Because, it's all based on waste. And I also asked Joe about the grant on the material management structure grant, and he didn't seem to think that we could. It sounds like there'd be grant from the state, but he didn't think for Rocky Hill would be.
Yeah, I did not interrupt. I mean, yeah, it's like programs. I think I have to say that it's rather satisfied propositions of the materials management grant, whatever, better. But right, just going on, like if we want to do the home composting approach, we do have a grant, the CT education and outreach program. So, going back to Aretha's point of like, even with recycling, like how can we educate people to construct, sure they put, don't put oily cardboard in the recycling bin, things like that, and then also compost. Yeah.
We could potentially make a video, put it up on our social media about how to work with something like that. We could talk about some suppliers that are out there if people want to purchase them. And then if there was a lot of hits on that, then we knew that there might be some interest in town. And then might be able to come up with some other ways that we can reach out to people and find out how valuable it would be for residents if they were interested in a program like that. I remember the discussions that folks had in the task force last year. They were saying that any diversion you could do at home is always the preferred option because it's zero carbon footprint, right? You're not putting it in a car and driving it somewhere, and you're not necessarily having somebody picking it up for you curbside, which also involves, gas emissions.
That's
So
blue,
doing it at home is the way to go.
type of thing.
Right.
Which the town does. We do support that, but we don't.
It's not a
it's
town
still
program.
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
Right.
Residents have to pay for it to get it picked up there. And the people who are actually doing it, I think, are very happy with it. But
Yes.
again, you have to pay for it.
Yep. I had reached out to Blue Earth and asked for an update on how many customers they currently have in Rocky Hill. We had subsidized the cost for
last year.
right, for 6 months. Not surprisingly, once people had to start paying for the curbside collection, we did lose some people.
Yeah.
So they lost about half of the initial 52. It just didn't fit in their budget or whatever the reason. But then they were able to pick up some new customers, so that offset some of that loss. But they're not back to the original 52 yet. So it's not a lot of households doing it. But
No.
like you said, even one that diverts is still helpful.
Yeah, that's why I think the recycling, the food waste recycling is important, because you
Right.
just get a few people doing it,
And at the time, we didn't have collection at the transfer station.
Yeah,
When that
but now-
program started, it started right afterwards.
Yeah.
Started in January, I think.
and,
So, yeah, it'd be good.
like they got a nice video out there too, in his sustainability, website there. He's, yeah, it shows you how to do it, just going down and do it.
Yeah,
That's
there's lots of resources.
Because I know we talked about like improving signage at the transfer station, but now I'm looking at their website and they don't list their, and then their in their PDF too, they don't list that they have composting services.
Oh.
So even to make something small like
Yeah,
that.
something like updating that, yeah. Well, that's something I can reach out
Reach
to.
out to them.
Yeah, Joe's office is right next to mine. so I
Oh,
can-
Joe's is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I tried going down and seeing him, he's impossible.
Yeah,
He's
for most of
around all the
most
time.
of the summer.
The best I could do was just have him, he'd call me, and I called him, he didn't call me one time, but then he called me again. We talked for about, 20 minutes on the phone.
He was short-staffed for most of the summer and fall, so.
In fact, I think he was even doing the nip thing. He was driving around in his truck and,
Yeah, he's always busy.
and doing it, so, yeah, I agree, the guy's probably busy. I haven't met him yet, but,
So you are going to again follow up on the transfer station, like a sign, like a good sign?
yeah,
board?
yeah.
And we can
Yeah, I
provide
could
an
do that.
update
I can
next
talk
time.
to Joe.
That would be good. Going to the next one, the DCT rights, action 6.3 and 6.5.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that one, actually. I had CT Rides, which is a program put on by the Department of Transportation for the state. Basically, they offer ride services to people that don't have access to a bus route. And they're trying to reach out to communities to get more involvement. They really want to be able to do more for Connecticut. So I had a quick Zoom meeting with someone who heads that up, and And he said, he would be available if you guys were ever interested, he could come in and give a presentation about what CT Rides can offer a community. Basically, it'd be like a ride service where people could call on demand and have someone come pick you up and bring you to a location.
Them now on my phone. There's
You're getting
one-
ads?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ilford or something.
Yeah, so he had moved from another division within DOT into this, and he wants to really pump it up and get it out there for people. We have 2 developments going on right now. It's going to be 3 of them actually. That's adding a lot more housing in Rocky Hill. We have Kelson Row on Main Street. We have Stepney Place on Silas Dean, and then Vessel, which is 90 units off Brook Street.
Yeah.
Right,
Off
so,
Brook Street, that's it.
and there's people there that, may be taking advantage of public transportation and might at times be in situations where they're not able to use the network to do what they need. And CT Rides can help fill in that gap. I had looked into their website at some of the things that they've done in the past, and they've even created like ride-sharing systems for communities, so that people could reach out to each other if they were looking to carpool and things like that. So there's a lot of different things that they could potentially offer Rocky Hill. So I thought it might be a good idea if you guys were interested, we could have them come and present some information and see if there was any way they could offer anything to partner with us to try to promote some things that could help the community.
Doesn't Rocky Hill already have something like that for seniors?
Yeah, we do. Yep, through the community center. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an elder services busing system. We have
Okay,
3
so this is
minibuses.
a little different than that then.
Yes, so this would be additional to that. So there might be people that don't necessarily qualify for that, but might be able to qualify for this. I think there's some that are fee-based and there's some that are not. So we'll have to see what sort of options might be available. And then we might be able to find some ways to get some credit for sustainable CT in the process too. That'd be great. It's not necessarily what I'm going for, but it's, if there's things in there, we may as well get credit for things if it qualifies.
It's available. It's like a local cab, pretty much. It's like if I want to go from my house to Big Y and then like that.
Yeah.
So it's available to
Doctor's
anyone.
appointment,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if any of you have ever been in a position to try to operate without a vehicle in your household. It's not easy. It is not easy. No. At various points in my childhood, money was really tight and vehicles weren't, operating well, and we'd have periods of time where we couldn't afford to fix them, and we had to operate that way. And so you get a real sense of what it's like to try to grocery shop or go to a doctor's appointment or even get, to and from visiting family. It can be difficult. So, especially if you have people that are starting out in life and don't have a lot of spare funds for things like owning and maintaining a car, you're looking for public transportation to try to serve you as best you can. So,
You have a contact for this person?
Absolutely.
Do you want to, we should reach out to them and try to get them here. I just don't know what's the appropriate, who would reach out and how.
If you like, I can forward it to you, Haritha, if you want to give a call, or I can set up a meeting if you like. I'm not sure what your schedule is like, 'cause I know you work full-time, so. Yeah.
Evenings would be the best.
Evenings? Okay.
Yeah, evenings.
All
would
right,
be the best.
and I had asked about that, and he said he would be available
Okay.
to come in for an evening meeting for an event that we had in town on the weekend or at night. He'd be willing to come in and partake. So
Cool, yeah.
that's good. So I think reaching out to him will be really easy. So, and I'm sorry, I should have wrote down his name when I came in here, it's just been a while since I spoke to him. But but I'd be happy to do that. I'll forward that to you after the meeting.
That would be good, thank you. And I see Robert being interested too, so.
Absolutely.
Okay. Other discussion we have, I know we have done, from the agenda perspective, we have completed. So I don't think we have anyone from the public either to go back to that. So the next meeting is scheduled for Monday, the December 30th at 6:30 p.m.
Yep, it's not going to be in this room, unfortunately. They're going to be replacing the carpet that day.
Okay.
So we're going to be meeting in another conference room here, the elevator conference room. We met there once before.
It looks pretty good.
So, yeah.
As we need to cover.
If no more, then do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make the motion. Yeah, to adjourn.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Thank you.
Okay. Productive meeting.
Yeah.
Great. It's actually faster than I expected. It's a lot of stuff on here. I was like, oh, we're gonna be